Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. Because now I know when something happens in our lives that is unexpected, you have to go into it in order to ever have any hope of coming through it. So when you go, guess what? When you come out the other side, you grow.
Brought out more in me than I thought that I didn't even know that I had.
That has given all of us a great hope for what we can do with our own messages, our abilities to deliver, but most importantly, to deliver it in an authentic and very, very intriguing way.
Have you ever been in something or felt something where the only way you felt you could deal with it was to leave, get away? I thought that was the meaning of control. It took me 4.5 years to stop looking around the room of my life, of my journey, of my purpose, digging in cushions for a remote that never existed. Looking, re-looking, going back and upgrading, bringing in and pulling out things that do not serve you must go. Those things out in this world that are designed to bring us down, to keep us down, put their foot on our neck and whisper to us that we're never good enough, they don't whisper. They yell at us from all directions, top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner, 365 days. When somebody asks you about yourself, don't you dare whisper. When they ask you to raise your hand, don't you dare half raise it. When they ask you something good about you, you scream it with all you have. Come on now, get up, get up. Tell me who you are. Show me who you are. Greatest truth of all, that not everyone has to remain lost.
I'm on one today. I'm wearing my birthday hat. I'm wearing my birthday hat, and it is not anywhere close to the 4th of July. Yeah, that's how I slipped that in. Mark your calendars. I'll be back in Jackson Hole. That's why I'm wearing it. Got the booking confirmation yesterday. I'm going back to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, for their 4th of July parade. Second time there for that, and we'll be there again from the 27th of June through the 6th of July with the Guinness Book of World Records people. And that's all I can tell you. Oh, and the Trueness Project, of course. Come down. I'll give you more and more as we get closer. So yay. And I got this hat there last year. So great things happening. How are you? Where are my manners? Shame on you. Shame on you. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren. And boy, did we have a humdinger of a webinar last night, y'all. Justin Charpentier, he is the founder, the president, the principal in Chart of Media. They've been representing me for over 9 years now. And man, all the things you see, and that's them. And great time last night with the Mindset Revolution family. Can I get an amen? I'll kick it off. There's one. It was just amazing every week. And last night started the first of our next 4-part series. Justin will be back with me co-presenting next week. And every 2 weeks, a new person will come in through the month of all the way through March as we're laying out the red carpet of manifestation, if you will, for all of you who are ready to nail it. Okay, so slam the hammer. All of my mastermind people are coming in. My coaching rock stars are there, and everyone else from the world at large who is ready to quit talking about it and ready to be about it. So we're bringing in all of the people that have constructed the community that I get to live within every day. Most of them, 96% of them, have been with me since day one. So very excited about it. Exciting times. It is the year of abundance, increase, prosperity, and blessing, but only for those who are expecting it. You don't want to be surprised. If you're surprised, you won't know what to do with it. So expect it, because it is coming. I'm telling you, it is already here. Do you want some? I thought you did. Bella Purpose is in the house as always. I'm going to ring it throughout the broadcast whenever some truth is out there, because just like that bell, you guessed it, the truth has a ring to it. And say good morning to my sidekick. Been here all 9 years, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Oh, and just in case you weren't here the other day, look what I got, my Valentine's Day stocking. RuPaul's Drag Race coaster. My husband's silly. And but I love it. I have Captain Kangaroo from the first year. Do you guys remember year number 1 and 2? Captain Kangaroo's song was my show theme. Remember that? And then I have this one from when I went to New York for my first in live, in front of real people, studio audience interview. I just love, and then look at this. Then my husband gave me this for Christmas. Are you ready? Look what she said. Look at her face. I'm sorry I slapped you. You didn't seem like you would ever stop talking, and I panicked. My husband's so funny. The Metabolic Balance Kitchen is the book, and Jane Durst, Polkey's PhD, is my coach. And since January 4th, when I did the 2-day cleanse and then hit the road running, pedal to the metal, if you will, on the 6th of January, since that day, I have lost a total of 26.4 pounds. 26.4 pounds. And I'm back in the gym as a week ago, and I'm just loving it. Keep an eye on all of my social media pages. I post all of the meals, and Jane will be back later in March for the big reveal. One last thing before we get our guest in here today. Carina Groombridge. Inspector Groombridge, I presume. I got a whole list of them. That's just the first one. I got a bunch of them. I was sitting there last night going, ooh, that's a good one. Get ready. Inspector Groombridge. Okay. Man, I just love that name. It's powerful. So you guys, listen. I want you to get your handheld device out, because right after this announcement, I'm going to put a code up on the screen. to sign up for next week's webinar every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. 90 minutes of magic. For real. Headed your way in about 2 seconds. But if you are in the Boston area, I'll be there March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at the PitCon Conference and Exposition. The new update, over 7,000 as of yesterday. Chemists from all over the world will be there. I'll be your keynote speaker on Sunday, March 2nd, speaking on the ripple effect. So, and then I'll be staying 3 or 4 days extra, going into rehearsals for the tour with Sanjeev Chopra. We're putting our happiness tour together. We'll be coming to a corporate arena near you over the summer. So, yeah, Sanjeev Chopra, Deepak's brother. Yes, I'm very excited about it. So here it is, you guys. This is the community. Get your phone out and scan that Mindset Revolution. Get over and see. It's like a stairway. It's a place in there. A lot of things for a lot of people. Something for everyone. A lot of value. Okay. And then if you'd like to, and I know you do, register for next week's event on the 26th, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. 90 minutes of pure magic. I'm not kidding you. And if you want to get any of the recordings from the 6 weeks preceding, let me know. I'll be happy to transfer every one of them to you free of charge. Okay. So who's here? Who indeed? Oh, Madam Groombridge of the Worthington Groombridges. Okay. I can't help it if I'm a Downton Abbey fan for life, and she just happens to have a name that would fit perfectly on there. But she has more than a name. She lives up to her name, which is Carina. And wait till I'm going to ask her if she knows what that name means, because I looked it up. I sure did. Now, here's what she says right out the gate. When you head over, women, ladies, to her website, she just says, hey, come on, let's do it. Let's double your income without the stress and the overwhelm. And she says, what if I told you this reality is a little closer than even you think? See, I love that. It's like she's whispering, and you're going, really? Me? Yes, you. What I love about this lady is she's very transparent. She knows what she's doing, and you can just sense that she has an anointing. So I think really the best way to prove it would be to get her in here. She's a first timer. So that means we're going to roll out the virtual red carpet, y'all. Put some hearts on the screen. It's free, it's painless, and it makes our guests feel oh so good. Here she comes. The girl who's going to triple your income, quadruple your income. I should go put on a wig or something because she works with women. I want my income quadrupled. Carina, please. Here she comes. Oh, Carina.
Dr. Lauren.
How are you?
Wonderful intro. Thank you. I am doing good. You?
I'm blessed, highly favored, living in Dominion, just like you. And I just wanted to say, before we get officially started, I'm going to dip out for about a minute here in a second and let you kind of just start your own vibe today with the audience. And I say it every morning. I love when the guests can kind of just pour out what they woke up with on their spirit, on their heart today. And then I'll come back in and we'll get started. But before I go, I was curious if you know of this person. I think they live in your area. What was her name? Oh, Countess Elizabeth Groombridge. Do you know her? Okay, stop. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, take it away, Carina. And I'll come back. Okay, all yours.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's so good to connect with you. So what was on my heart this morning? What is on my heart most mornings? Quite literally a toddler these days, but also so much love and gratitude for just everything, the clients that I get to serve, the life that I've been able to build, and what the possibility is that is out there. And I'm just so honored to be here and honored to be speaking to you and connecting to you this morning. So I'm very much looking forward to diving into this conversation.
Oh, good, because I am ready to dive as well. And let's start with this. You said a toddler, but you don't just have one. You look like you're young enough to just have had your first baby, but you
No.
actually have 4, right?
I got 4 little people
You
that
have
aren't so
4.
little anymore. Like one is like she's getting up there.
So you have lay it out, because wait till you see what's sandwiched right in the middle. Go ahead.
So I have a 9-year-old, and then we had twin boys about a year and a half later, and they're 8 right now, and I have a 3-year-old. So it is a party
Wow.
in my house all the time. I love it.
All the time. And just wait till they're teenagers. Have you done the math? Like, when I bet you have. When the oldest is leaving is in college, have you figured that out?
No. We're not even going there yet. I just okay, one is in elementary school, the other one's in high school. Like that's as far as I've gotten.
But with twins, because we have twins in my family, and it's 2 of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you know this already.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's 2 of everything, or it's a fight. So pick your battle. Like,
but I mean, that's 2 kids entering college the same year.
yes. College looks
Wow.
different in Montreal, like in Quebec, but still crazy.
Oh, you're in Canada.
I'm in Canada.
Oh,
yeah.
that would have been okay. So
we're bringing all the Canadian energy today.
Yes. Is it cold where you're at?
Freezing.
Same
Literally.
here in Chicago. Same here. Yeah. So let's get to. I noticed something else when I was poking around over on your website. Caught my attention. You said for the past 5 years. So, and I don't know how old your site is. Is it 5 years? It's probably longer now, huh?
Longer now. Yeah.
How long have you been doing the work?
Over 6, almost 7 years now.
7 years. And you say that you've been helping ambitious women in business blow their own damn minds with the success that they can create. Talk about that. How do they come? I mean, they come in, they know they're coming in for something, but it sounds like they realize eventually, wow, this is even more than I expected. Shed some light on what that means.
Yeah. So what I find so often is when we're looking to create something, when we're looking to grow, so often we can't see the amazing potential that we have. And we're just kind of okay, I want to get from here to here. Okay, no problem. And then once we do that, then it's kind of oh, wait, where else can we take this? And it's just so fun to see from my perspective, because I can see how far they can go if they choose to. And so often my clients are okay, let's start here. All right, no problem.
Well, speaking of that, let's do that. Let's start where they start. So this is 2 days in a row. My guest specializes with working with women. We had Melanie Whitaker yesterday, a PR agent out of the UK, specializes in working with PR with women, entrepreneurs. Now with you, I think you're pretty well positioned. I could be wrong, but it seems like you could really relate to a wide variety of women in different situations, simply because you seem like you are the one who has it all. You have a business, you have a thriving business, you have a loving marriage, and a full plate of cheering, as my grandmother would call it. Got a boatload of cheering, right?
I like that.
Right? Yeah, she's very Southern Georgia. But you still have time, I'm sure, for friends and socializing, and you might, go to the gym or talk about how you balance it all and how that helps you impart the same type of mindset and strategic execution of a plan with your clients. How similar are the 2 worlds?
So the 2 worlds are very similar. And one of the things that I had to figure out for myself was, all right, how am I gonna do this? Because when I started, my 3 oldest were in diapers. I had a full-time corporate job as an engineer and had to travel to work and, work 40 plus hours and, take care of a household, all of the things. So I needed to figure out how to balance, how to manage and keep my sanity intact, which is something that my clients strive to do as well. And what I noticed for me when I got started was things dropped to the side. And I wasn't really exercising as much as I normally do. And I wasn't taking care of myself like I normally do. And that was like it, got me going. It got me to start, but it wasn't sustainable. And I wasn't actually creating the results that I wanted to be creating. So I kind of had to like reevaluate, rejig how I was showing up, what that was looking like, because it wasn't working.
Well, first of all, let's go back to the front end. So not just a pretty face, something between the ears up there too. You went to engineering, a lot of investment, not just financially, but time and all these things. And so you must have thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be an engineer, and I'm going to have my briefcase, and I'm going to have my corner office, and I'm going to do great things in the corporate world. And then the family piece changed everything, right? So a lot of women, my mother-in-law, she was a scientist, and she completely walked away from her passion to be at home and raise my husband and his brother. And I often wondered, from where you stand today, where you sit, do you ever, was it difficult to put down the entire engineering piece in order to have all of what you have now? Was it a fair exchange? Do you feel like it was a good trade-off?
So was it difficult? I found that the transition in my identity was difficult. Like,
that's the part.
That was huge, because for so long I identified myself as I'm an engineer. And when you say that, people go, ooh.
What? Engineer.
Right? Like they're like, oh, like,
here's that bird. Here, sit over by me, dear. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So to go from that to saying I'm a business owner, and a mother on top of it, a lot of people were like, oh, that's cute. Like, that's nice. Like, you're doing this on the side. Like I want to punch you in the face right now.
How's your little business doing?
Exactly.
Does that make you, what is that? Be honest. What chord does that strike? Or probably different now, but when you first, excuse me, did you want to run back? That's what I forgot to tell you. You know what I mean? Seriously though. Mm-hmm. Did you find that people, not mean-spiritedly, but there is a difference? So you definitely see a marked difference in their response when you say this as opposed to what you used to be able to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you, what was the mindset you had to adapt to get beyond that?
Well, one of the things that I had to do for me was to sell myself on why, going and being my own boss, diving into entrepreneurship was the best thing for me. Like, I had to sell myself on it first before I could convey it with any sort of conviction that, like, yeah, this is amazing. And I feel like I had to start there for me in order for people to be like, oh, cool. Like, oh, this is what you do. And even now, some people are like, oh, that's nice. Like, and now I just, whatever, I don't care.
So let's talk about the demographic of your clientele. I'm interested in the spectrum. How broad is the spectrum? I had an event in 2019 called The Next Impactor, where people uploaded little video clips, and there was a year-long competition, almost like American Idol for people like us, right? And one of the nonprofits on there were these twins. Oh, yeah. Emily and what's her sister's name? Emily Seelman and her sister. Her name slips me. Sorry, girl. Anyway, their nonprofit was something for moms, and it was about moms who had, like my husband's mother, had stepped away from their careers. Now the kids are gone, and they want to come back in to the workforce, they want to do something. Maybe not what they went to college for all those years ago, but they don't want to just sit around, And so, do you have clients like that have been raising their families like you're doing it? It used to be a different thing, the June Cleaver thing. They were vacuuming in heels and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or at least that's what they wanted us to believe. I don't know if that was really happening, but probably was somewhere. But you know what I'm saying? How different are the expectations for a good mother, a good wife, a decent mother wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? What about that? Do you find that some of your clients come and they have to strip away the guilt of what they didn't do, and everybody's got something to say about it?
Yes.
Talk about that if you could. I find that very interesting.
Yeah. So like letting go of guilt was another big thing for me that I had to figure out how to do.
What part of guilt did you have? Were you guilty?
Just the
because you got
time.
Nothing to be guilty for. I can't help it. Barbara, stop channeling. That's what you all know. Sorry, mask. That was a Hindu mask that fell. Babs. Barbara. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. ADHD be gone, but she was channeling. Sorry. I just have to explain it.
Nice.
Okay. It's my universe. You guys are visiting. ADHD. So go on. I'm sorry. But you really have nothing to be guilty.
Oh, no. I am there now. Like when somebody asks me about guilt and like, oh, do you feel bad for missing this or that? No, not at all.
Are you ever distracted at home working with the kids? And I'm assuming they go to regular school, or do you homeschool them?
Oh no, I am not. I'm not at that level. There's no homeschooling here.
I don't think it'd be hard to do that and the business.
I've seen people do both.
You have?
I have. It's not for me. That's not a personal decision that I want to make.
Have you had a client that did that?
Not a client of mine, but I've seen people who have.
Wait on it. It'll be that.
Yeah. For me, I don't work when they're here for the most part. There's some exceptions to that where it's like, if I can only book an interview or something when the kids are home, then I'll make sure to, my husband's on point and all of that. What are we looking at?
I'm sensing something. Oh,
tell me.
I just got a download about you.
Tell me.
Ooh, now that explains some things.
I'm so curious. Go on.
Okay, when you were like in high school and stuff, were you that girl that was there ever any sense of perfectionism? Like, yes. Okay, right.
Yes.
I can just see it, and the grades and this and honor society and just the whole, I could just see it. So wow, okay. So now I'm starting to understand the guilt part at first, but then you looked at your first child, and I'm sure that just went moving out the door, out the window. But I want to ask you this. What about swapping out one dream for another? Pivoting, if you will. Because a lot of women find themselves having to do that. I mean, all the way through women who have raised their children already, and then suddenly they're raising their grandkids. All these different things. The reason I'm laying that out there is because I'm always so curious about why so many women focus and work primarily with other women. And the reasons are as varied as the stars. And so tell me, what is that for you? How did you come to the decision, I just want to work with women, and why?
Yeah. So I see the struggle that women have, and it's something that is all too familiar to me. And I just feel like there's so many amazing business owners who are women, and it's like this, we have so many hats on all at the same time. And I see the struggle from like my own perspective too, of saying, okay, well, I need to take care of the home. I need to take care of the kids. Like I have to take care of everybody. And a big thing that I work on is actually bringing that back to like, you are your biggest priority. You are your biggest asset. And I find women typically struggle with this the most, and struggle with putting themselves first the most. So that's kind of what drew me more towards working with women. Although I have worked with men before who, align with my values and share the same kind of vision. And oftentimes they're also leading their households.
Yeah.
but that was a big pull for me, because there's so many amazing heart-centered entrepreneurs out there who aren't thriving because they're putting everyone else above them. And it can work for a little, and it means happy clients and you're building this amazing business, but there comes a point where you can't sustain it anymore.
Right.
And you get to this point, I've seen it, where people come and they're like, okay, I've built the business, I have people working for me, I'm making multiple six figures, and like I want to pack it all up because I can't do it anymore, because the way that they built it isn't supporting them for the life that they want to have, for where they want to go in the future. So we kind of have to break it down and put it back together again.
I see. I want to, you don't mind that I tie you in, because you are a woman and you do a lot of the things that your clients do. So you have you probably mirror a lot of the challenges. So what better example? I can't use myself. Yeah. I'm not a woman. However, I have played one on Facebook. Anyway, I'm kidding. Who am I? No. Did we learn nothing from Tyler Perry? So I want to ask you this. I really do. And if you're uncomfortable answering it, let me know. Because I deal with it. I think we all do in one form or another. But what I mean is, those days where the world expects us to show up as good morning, ring the bell. And to be honest, there are some days I'll be like, oh shit. But I don't regret the chair. I regret later if I didn't bring my very best to the chair. And that's what I have to keep reminding myself, which is why I have things around me within reach to remind me to show up for everyone else, even when I don't feel like I can show up for myself. And that's where the healing, where the teacher becomes the student and the student becomes that whole thing. So my question to you is this: do you ever feel the pressure of, what about when was the last time you really lost it? Where it's like, I don't know what that looks like for you, and I don't want to do the woman, the stereotypical, she starts crying and I can't, because that's not necessarily true. You know what I mean? And I think that's a sexist approach to it. But if you feel comfortable and vulnerable enough to just, or do you ever doubt yourself? Like, I got to stand. That's what that perfectionism thing that came through. So it makes me want to talk about that, because I don't know, but I have a feeling you got something good to say about it.
There's so many things to say.
So talk about that. That's a real thing. How do you feel about what I just asked?
Yeah, well, so two different pieces come to mind, because you had mentioned working through while you yourself are not doing amazing. Yeah. That's something that ended up supporting me in a time in my life where I was struggling because of a sick loved one. Okay. And showing up for work and supporting others helped me through that situation.
Yeah.
So that I found was like my outlet. Some people like want to pull in and do their thing. And I don't think there's no right or wrong answer. You just need to figure out what works for you. But for me, I cleaned myself up, like put my game face on and showed up for my clients, showed up for my business as best as I could. Mm-hmm. So there was that really served me. And in terms of doubt, absolutely, it comes up. And now I find I have more awareness to see what's actually happening, and like to catch myself in the, oh, okay, I'm sitting here, unsure of myself, or just not giving myself enough credit for what I am capable of creating.
Yes.
And a lot of the tools that I have in my toolbox as a coach and what I help my clients with is bringing that awareness to the forefront. Because if we can't see it, then we're just operating as like, business as usual, and then veering away from the things that maybe scare you, that maybe like make you go, ooh, can I do it? I don't know. Yeah. And now one of the things that I use as my own compass is to say like, okay, what have I done today, this week, this month that has scared the shit out of me.
Mhm.
And if I don't have anything that I can pinpoint, then like we need to put new things on the calendar, because for me, that's the growth. And if I'm sitting there doubting, like, ooh, can I do it? Like, oh, how's this going to go? Then this is telling me like, okay, like I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it scared. And we're going to do it imperfectly in all of the things.
Because the key is to just do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to say this, and this is for everybody. It was a big pivoting point, big pivotal moment in my journey when I swapped out. And it wasn't my idea; it was a download. To leave doubt out at any cost. It just, no matter what, find a way to leave doubt out, because doubt leads to worry leads to fear leads to anger, and anger leads to destruction. So I found it helps. It's actually healthy. Therapists and people of that nature endorse this mindset that it's good to be skeptical, but not doubtful. And because doubt is non-belief. Skeptical means you're cautious and you're careful, you're thorough, you vet, you have standards, you have boundaries, you have you have perimeters, you have limits, you have all the things in place to just say, I like to have a good time too, but it ain't that kind of a free-for-all party. Don't be, don't get put out. You see what I'm saying? Because I will put you out. And I think a lot of us deal with remembering that there is a difference. Because so what is it? Is what in your day-to-day life, comparatively speaking, if you don't mind, share one of your biggest fears on a day-to-day basis, and then what you're hearing from the people you serve. What's a common echo? Is it the same? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Because there's a lot going on in the world, and it changes all the time, especially since the election and things. A lot of people who were one way 6 months ago are in a different place today. Look at the federal government and employees and things like that. So let's talk about that, if we could. How you pivot as a professional coach and consultant with your clients when it's things that are out of all of our control, pretty much, that is causing distraction or anxiety or any of the things that wasn't even sitting there when you signed with this person, but now because of things, again, outside of our grasp, we can't control it. Nonetheless, there they are, and there you are. How have you been handling all that? How's that going?
Yeah, so I love this question, and it's one that a lot of my clients have brought up recently, just with what's going on in the world, what's going on with the economy. And what I love to bring it back to, and this is something, I don't know why I was not taught this earlier, but it's something within the personal development world of, we don't get to control everything around us. Like we can't control what people say. We can't control what is gonna happen, in the world, but we do have control and some agency over how we show up to it and how we're thinking about it, how we're moving through it, the actions that we end up taking based on that. And so I work with a lot of clients who like to have control over their environment, like to, know what's coming. And when that's not an option, which, it's life, we don't get to control everything, then we bring it back to, okay, but what is within your control? How do you get to show up to this? How can you use this to even your advantage? Like really shifting the thought process here on how we're seeing it, how we're showing up to it.
Absolutely. You guys, excuse me 1 second. Let me take this off. You guys, we have to stop for a second and sing happy birthday to Lori Whitney. Lori, you thought I was going to forget? I think it was yesterday. yesterday or today. So we don't really have to sing, but happy birthday, Lori Whitney. You guys.
Happy birthday, Lori.
Yes. So happy that you're so happy. So happy birthday. Enjoy many more. So I want to ask you this. Do you feel that you're still navigating as a woman in what is still pretty much a man's world, or has the needle begun to move? Because I don't really know what that means anymore. It's a man's world. Is that still the case? Do people still say that?
Well, I don't say it because I don't want. I think that women need to step into more powerful positions. This is my thought on that. I think that women need to have more leadership in the world, and this is a big part of why it's important to me to support women to grow and scale, because all of the people that I work with, they have such incredible values. They care. They want to do their best. And I'm not saying, this is not to say like men don't. This is not at all the point, but just their voices should be heard. And it's funny that you say this, because I was in engineering, and the ratio of, male to female is like, there's maybe like a handful of women in a class of 100. So I feel like I've lived in this domain for a long time, and I'm okay with that. But I want to see that that shift happening, and I feel like it is happening in the world.
Do. So, in your own situation, does your husband work outside of the home?
Yes.
And you work within the home, from the home?
Yes. Well, I work for myself from my home. Yes.
From your home. Okay. So, do you ever? And I'm sure you have clients in that same scenario. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, do guys come home? Because before COVID, my husband had his private practice. He went to his office, and I was here, right? And I was thinking all the time, I was like, I wonder if he thinks, like, soon as he leaves, I'm like, all right, I'll see you tonight, honey. I'm busy. Hold on. Excuse me, can you hold? I want to say goodbye to my husband. Honey, I'm in a meeting. Okay. Ooh, good. Young and the restless. Here I come. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Then I used to ask him, what do you think I do when you're gone all day? Right? And I was on the lookout. I was on high alert for him to say stuff like, I come home from work all day. Would it be a crime to ask to have dinner on the table? Right? Because, but what I'm getting at is this. Do you think, do you ever detect that, or how is it with your husband, where you're like, excuse me, I was in the office all day too?
Yeah. So that it's really funny you say that, because there was a huge transitional period in the whole, okay, now, you've left corporate, now you're working for yourself. Like there was a big transition.
You've been home all day. What do you mean the laundry's not done?
I know.
I need that shirt for tomorrow.
Yes. See, that is not the dynamic in my home. That doesn't.
Okay.
But no, it's funny, because that was a transition we had to make, and setting the expectations and conveying like, hey, by the way, that this isn't gonna work like this. Like you leave, I'm at home, and then oh, why isn't the kitchen cleaned up, and why isn't dinner started? And we had conversations around this, but then at one point, I think my husband was home for something and I was out. Anyways, the dynamic shifted, and he kind of looked around and was like, "Oh, like I get it." And I'm not the person to sit down with my feet up. I'm quite the opposite. I'm like go, and struggle to take the time for me. Yeah. So the idea of like sitting around doing nothing just wouldn't happen. But it did definitely take a lot of conversations, a lot of setting expectations to be like, hey, this is my job, and then this is your job, and then this is what we're doing together.
What are some of the, I'm really interested. You got the juices flowing up here now. Thank you for that. Yep. What are some of the warning signs, if you will, that you keep an eye out for, you have your clients keep an eye out for, as far as when you should start to release the lever of the pressure cooker? In other words, it could be nearing the point where you should admit that I might need some help with something. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women, like you said yourself, wear a lot of hats. You know what I'm saying? They do. And they have to switch on a dime.
Yep.
But there's a boo-boo, but there's an email on fire over here. You see what I'm saying? You can't just say, go have your dad do it. Oh, wait, he's not home yet. You know, and this sort of thing. So what are some of your recommendations for, you know, anyone really? Because there are a lot of men at home in the same position you're in, and the wife is out of the house and the kids, and some of them are home. I have a neighbor who is in that position, and he homeschools all three of the kids.
What?
Yeah, and he's in some type of manufacturing engineering, something like that. So yeah, works for a big company, but remotely. But he gets it done. You see him walking the dog. He gets up. He has breaks that he takes while they're napping or they're doing this or they're taking a test. And he, you know, he has because I find it very, very impressive. Okay, so let me ask you this: not just how you know when you need a break or you need help, but what are some of the things you have in place that to give you that Zen time where there's no kids, there's no pets, there's no husband, there's no client, there's just you, there's no mom, there's no wife, there's just you, the girl.
Yeah. So when are the moments that are just me? So for me, I like to put these things in the calendar because sometimes they just won't happen. So I sometimes that looks like exercise. I'm a big exercise person. I also love sports. So those are kind of like the things that I do for me. And to be honest, there aren't that many moments where it's just like quiet nothingness because my life I'm not in that season right now, but I do intentionally. Yeah.
Not in that season.
Exactly. Which is fine. But then I find like I'll try to do like little micro breaks. And that might look like just getting out of the house, going for a walk around the block. Like if that's all I have time for, then that gets to be my me time. So I like to find a way to be able to fit it into my day, into my week.
Yeah.
In whatever capacity that I have, which is something that my clients are kind of like, okay, we have no spare time whatsoever. Like, how are we going to do this? And it's really finding like the little moments. And you had said,
do you stick to the calendar? Because what I wrote down is this is a big word. How many, I mean, because probably countless times in a week that you find yourself having to sacrifice something that you really planned for yourself, but you have to sacrifice it for the overall good of the family, for the overall good of the business, the brand, the in-laws, my parents, and you know, and I think, and the women are always the ones. It's just the truth, you know. As your kids grow up, your parents get older, and then you start moving over to taking care of them. You know, and I wonder, do you start as a businesswoman, as an executive mindset, as a mom and as a daughter? When do women start thinking about, okay, the kids are going to empty nesting. Oh, then a mom and dad I'm going to have to move them closer. Or does it ever stop? I'm glad I don't have a womb. There's no womb in the end. Go ahead.
So I feel like it never stops at all. And once, you know, one season ends, then, you know, another one begins. And like you said, it looks different. But still, one of the things that you mentioned was like, or actually, no, the thought that came to my head was finding, like I said, the micro, like the little moments to be able to take to yourself. Because, you know, if you're not taking care of the kids, then it's the business, then it's this. And I don't find that I don't use the term sacrifice. I prioritize. So my family.
Oh, you will use it. Eventually. Well, but you know what though? I don't see. Let's talk about that for a second. I love that. Because the reason I go to that word is because as a veteran, and thank all of you for your service. Hug a veteran today. Is when people say, "Oh, thank you for your service," but really, I know what a lot of my service brothers and sisters have sacrificed, and the spectrum is just so broad that I really like to follow it up with. And also, thank you for your sacrifice because you just made it look easy. That's all. That's what I think. Why I respect so many women who focus all of their gifts and attentions on making a life, quality of life more accessible for all women. Because if you don't, who will? If not you, then who? Seriously, because who understands the plight of a woman better than another woman, right? And I wish what I would like to see is more women leaders and healers start doing things where at least you start bringing men in that are allies.
Yeah.
Because, especially because the more men who understand the woman you send home to them, how can that not be, something everybody would desire for a better everything, right?
Yeah.
And talk about that. Does that come up in your work about like resistance? I in the wellness business when I used to be in that, a lot of all my clients, 99% were women, and their husbands would buy their product and pay for their cooking classes and they come to the workout sessions and stuff. But the minute they started transforming their bodies, that support says, "Oh, who you getting all cute for?" They'd come just crushed. And so, do you ever, is that a thing? Do you talk with your female clients about, now listen, girl, when you start making all this money and stuff, and you making more than him, he may, that alpha, the hunter-gatherer shit might come rolling out. Here's what you need to do. Is that a thing? How can it not be? Men have big, huge egos. Yeah. Some of them. I've never had one myself. I can't. Dr. Jan, don't call my husband. I'm not playing. So, no, but you know what I'm alluding to, right?
I do. And that's not something that I see in my world. Like in the people that I surround myself with, that doesn't ring true for me. I know it's true for others, but it's not something that my clients or I really face on a regular basis. But you'd said something before, and I just want to pull it back to the topic of sacrifice, because because you'd talked about veterans and them sacrificing themselves, and I don't like the word sacrifice because so often this is what women do, like all the time. They sacrifice themselves for everyone else. And for me, it's about priorities. And if you are not your biggest priority, then you are not going to be the best of yourself for everyone around you.
That's right.
So I don't like that.
And that's what they used to instill in them. Now, when you go, mothers would tell their daughters, you want to be a good wife and mother, so you'll have to sacrifice your this and that. There'll be no more of da 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 da. Right? And why does it have to be that way?
Yeah, I don't believe it has to at all.
Exactly. Listen, I want to put on the screen. My kale is finishing up there. I can smell it. Yeah.
Are you baking kale?
No, I'm not actually. I have this system where I saute it very low, in just broth, and it's like a West Indian way. Yes, my old dentist, his wife, they were Jamaican, and she showed me how to. Dr. Jan, you know about those greens?
Cool.
She's been here and had them before. Oh, they're so good. Yeah, this is just kale. Kale is new to me.
I have kale in my fridge that I don't know what to do with. All right, cool.
Kale, my 99-year-old foster mother, Mrs. Valentine, I'll be going down to see her in a few weeks in Huntsville, Alabama. And she told me I keep at least 2 or 3 bunches of kale in my fridge at all times. I eat it probably 4 or 5 times a week. And she's 99. So I'm like, oh, Write that down.
Something's working. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. And also yeast flakes. She said, get yeast flakes. They have high in B12, and B12 is missing in almost everything. And it tastes like cheese. And you just put it on your vegetables and stuff, salad, whatever. It's so good. Right.
All right.
Yeast flakes.
All right.
Yeah. And she does the same 3 exercises for the last 60, 70 years and standing all in one spot. She does do the same.
Like weights?
Just stretching and stuff. She doesn't use weights or anything. Just
Good
amazing.
for her.
She still drives. She drives every day, and she still plays the piano every Sunday for a Methodist church. And she's 99 years old. Yes.
Love it.
Mrs. Allie Valentine, Huntsville, Alabama. Listen.
Life goals.
Yes. I want to put on the screen, there are a couple routes. There's Instagram, and there it is, Carina Groombridge Coaching. And she also has this one, Facebook, and it is there. Now, listen, there's a third link, but it's long. It's for your podcast. Talk about that real quick. And it's already in your comment section. And I'll drop these other 2 in there as soon as we finish up here in just a moment. Real quick on the way out, can you tell them about the podcast, when and where?
Yes. Well, I just launched a podcast. It is called You Are Your Biggest Asset. And it is for all of my service-based business owners looking to scale. And we are doing this sustainably so that you can grow your business and your income and have a lot more fun doing it. So this is what we're talking about.
And who doesn't love a lot more fun?
I know, right?
I know.
We need a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Like we have dance parties over here. It's a requirement.
Yeah, I bet you do. With that, 3-year-old you said?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay,
it's the same song over and over.
Oh, yes. Oh, you just reminded me.
And if I don't get the right one, I get the look of like,
Oh my God. No. I had nieces that were like 6 and 7 when Frozen first came out.
over.
My God. Oh, I don't know what is worse, that or It's a Small World at Disneyland when you're standing in line for 3 hours and it's a world.
Definitely that
8
one.
weeks later,
that
and
is
it's
worse.
still playing on loop. Anyway, take that with you. A little nostalgia there for you today, folks. Listen, Carina Groombridge, thank you so much for all you do and all that we know you're going to continue to do. We're looking for you to do big things. Going to keep our eye on you. And thank you again. And thank your husband for sharing you with us today. Listen, all of you out there, get out today, won't you please? And find just a little bit of your higher self. It takes 1 E and 1 R, and you'll take great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, and my personal favorite, kind to kinder. Now, I will meet you, God willing, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central over there on the front porch, where together we will have yet another illuminated conversation. For one thing, guess who's here? Oh, wait a minute. I want to get his name right. Andre Hoffman. He is the doctor of self-worth. And he is known far and wide. This guy is like Bill Nye the Science Guy, but when it comes to self-worth, wait till you see what he's got for you tomorrow to wrap this week up. Now get out of here. Don't you let my screen door slam on your way out. And remember, Dr. Lauren absolutely loves you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So get out there, be the best, and leave the rest. Thank you again, Carina. Great job. You nailed it. Great job. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.